Welcome to I Am Stoic, friends, to a journey of self-discovery and inner strength. Today we're diving into the world of Stoicism, exploring 10 powerful attributes of those who master the art of speaking less. In a world that never seems to quiet down, these individuals stand out. Not for their loudness, but for their profound impact. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of those who've mastered the power of silence? Let's begin. Imagine standing in the eye of a storm, calm and collected, while chaos swirls around you. This is the essence of our first attribute, strategic silence. It's not about being quiet for the sake of it, but about understanding the power of a well-placed pause. Think about a heated debate or a crucial negotiation. When everyone's voices rise, what happens when someone chooses not to speak? Suddenly, all eyes turn to them. Their silence becomes magnetic, drawing attention and curiosity. This, my friends, is strategic silence in action. But why is this so powerful? Well, in the words of the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. When we choose silence, we're not just avoiding words, but creating space. Space for observation, understanding, and making decisions not based on impulse, but on wisdom. Picture this: you're in a meeting and you're listening, and someone throws a challenging question your way. Instead of scrambling for an immediate response, you take a moment, you breathe. In that pause, you're not just buying time, but demonstrating control. You're showing that you value thoughtful responses over quick reactions. This strategic silence isn't about being passive. Far from it. It's an active choice, a powerful tool in your Stoic arsenal. It's about understanding that every word carries weight. And sometimes the most impactful thing you can say is nothing at all. But how do we cultivate this attribute? Start small. Next time you're in a conversation, challenge yourself to wait 5 seconds before responding. Feel the urge to fill the silence and then let it be. Watch how this small change shifts the dynamic and how it gives you time to formulate more thoughtful responses. Remember, in a world that's constantly buzzing, your strategic silence can be a superpower. It commands respect, invites curiosity, and most importantly, gives you the space to approach life with a calm, considered wisdom. Of a true Stoic, as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Your strategic silence is a testament to this inner strength, a sign that you're in control, not of others, but of yourself. So are you ready to harness the power of strategic silence to stand strong and calm in the face of life's storms? This is just the beginning of our journey into the attributes of those who speak less. Stay with us as we explore more Stoic wisdom that can transform your life one mindful moment at a time. Now that we've mastered the art of strategic silence, let's dive into our second attribute, active listening. This isn't just about hearing words. It's about truly understanding the message behind them. In a world where everyone's fighting to be heard, those who speak less have discovered a profound truth. The real power lies in listening. Think about it. When was the last time you felt honestly heard, not just nodded at, but deeply understood? That's the gift that active listeners bring to every conversation. And let me tell you, it's a rare and valuable skill. The great Stoic philosopher Zeno once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say." But why is this so important? Well, when we truly listen, we're not just gathering information. We're building connections, fostering empathy, and gaining insights that can change our perspective. Imagine you're in a heated argument. Your instinct might be to interrupt, to defend your point of view. But what if instead you chose to listen, to set aside your ego and try to understand where the other person is coming from? This is active listening in action, and it's a game changer. Here's a challenge for you. In your next conversation, focus entirely on the other person. Don't think about what you're going to say next. Don't judge or evaluate their words. Just listen. Notice their tone, their body language, and the emotions behind their words. You might be surprised at what you discover, but active listening isn't just about others. It's also about listening to yourself. You can hear your thoughts more clearly when you're not rushing to speak in the quiet moments. You can tune into your intuition, your values, and your true desires. As Marcus Aurelius put it, look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if thou wilt ever dig. Now you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually do it? Here are a few practical tips. 1. Make eye contact. It shows you're engaged and present. 2. Ask questions, not to challenge, but to understand more deeply. 3. Paraphrase what you've heard. It ensures you've understood correctly and shows you're paying attention. 4. Practice patience. Don't rush to fill silences or jump to conclusions. Remember, active listening isn't about being passive. It's a deliberate choice, a powerful way to engage with the world around you. It's about quality over quantity, depth over superficiality. As you nurture this attribute, you'll witness something remarkable. People will be drawn to you. They'll trust you more, open up to you, and value your presence. Why? Because in a world where everyone's clamoring to be heard, you're offering something rare and precious, the gift of genuine attention. When we look at people who talk less, we find an important quality, being calm on the inside. In a world full of noise and confusion, those who have this quality are like lighthouses, steady, strong, and guiding others to safety. But what exactly is inner calm? It's not about being emotionless or detached. Instead, it's about finding a center of peace within yourself. A quiet strength that remains steady no matter what life throws your way. It's about responding to life's challenges with composure rather than reacting with impulsiveness. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This, my friends, is the essence of inner calm. It's about understanding that while we can't control external events, we have absolute power over our responses to them. Picture this: you're stuck in heavy traffic late for an important meeting. The old you might have honked the horn, cursed under your breath, and let stress and anger take over. But with inner calm, you take a deep breath. You remind yourself that getting upset won't make the traffic move faster. Instead, you use this time to prepare for your meeting or practice mental mindfulness. This inner calm isn't just about dealing with minor annoyances. It's a superpower that can help you gracefully navigate life's biggest challenges and dignity. When you speak less and cultivate this inner peace, you become like a rock in a rushing river. The water life's troubles may flow around you, but you remain steadfast and unmoved. So how do we develop this attribute? Here are a few Stoic-inspired practices. 1. Practice negative visualization. Regularly imagine losing the things you value. This helps you appreciate what you have and prepares you for potential setbacks. 2. Focus on what you can control. Divide situations into things you can influence and things you can't. Direct your energy only towards what you can change. 3. Embrace discomfort. Voluntarily put yourself in challenging situations. This builds resilience and helps you maintain calm when real difficulties arise. 4. Reflect daily. Take time each day to review your actions. Were there moments when you lost your calm? How could you respond differently next time? Cultivating inner calm doesn't mean you'll never feel negative emotions. It means you'll be able to acknowledge these feelings without being controlled. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Developing this attribute will bring about a remarkable shift. Not only will you feel more at peace, but you will also influence those around you. Your calm presence will be a soothing influence in tense situations and a form of silent leadership that others naturally gravitate towards. As we explore our fourth attribute, we will reveal a quality that genuinely distinguishes those who speak less: the ability to take thoughtful action. In a world that often rewards quick reactions and instant gratification, these individuals stand out by pausing, thinking, and acting purposefully. Think about it. How often have you said something in the heat of the moment only to regret it later? Or made a hasty decision that you wished you could take back? This is where the power of thoughtful action comes into play. It's about bridging the gap between impulse and action with careful consideration. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This, my friends, is thoughtful action in a nutshell. It's about aligning your actions with your values, goals, and authentic self. Imagine facing a major life decision, a career change, or a significant relationship choice. Instead of rushing into it or endlessly overthinking, those who speak less take a different approach. They create space for reflection. They consider not just the immediate consequences, but the long-term impact. They align their choice with their core values and life goals. But thoughtful action isn't just for big decisions. It's a way of life, a habit that can transform even the most minor interactions. When you speak less and act thoughtfully, your words and actions carry more weight. People learn it's meaningful and worth paying attention to when you say or act. So how can we cultivate this trait in our own lives? Here are some Stoic-inspired strategies. 1. Practice the pause. Before reacting to any situation, take a deep breath. Create a moment of space between stimulus and response. 2. Ask yourself why. Before taking action, question your motivations. Are you acting out of habit, emotion, or true intention? 3. Consider consequences. Think about the potential outcomes of your actions, both short-term and long-term. 4. Align with values. Regularly reflect on your core values and ensure your actions harmonize. 5. Embrace amor fati. Love your fate. Whatever the outcome of your thoughtful action, accept it and learn from it. Remember, thinking carefully and taking action doesn't mean doing nothing. It's not about getting stuck by overthinking. As Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Thinking carefully helps you be ready to confidently and purposefully take advantage of the right moments. As you develop this attribute, you will likely notice some profound changes. Your relationships may deepen as people appreciate your considered responses. Your decisions may lead to better outcomes as they align with your true intentions. And most importantly, you'll feel a greater sense of control and purpose in your life. Unshakable self-confidence. Now you might be wondering, how can speaking less lead to more confidence? Well, buckle up, because we're about to explore one of the most powerful secrets of Stoic wisdom. First, let's clear up a common misconception. True self-confidence isn't about being loud or dominating conversations. It's not about proving yourself to others. Instead, it's about deep, unwavering trust in your worth and abilities, regardless of external validation. The great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This, my friends, is the cornerstone of unshakable self-confidence. Think about it. When you speak less, you no longer seek constant approval or validation from others. You're not filling every silence with words to prove your worth. Instead, you're comfortable in your own skin and secure in your own thoughts. This is true confidence, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself, but is felt by everyone around you. Imagine walking into a room full of people. The old you might have felt the need to speak up immediately to make your presence known. But with this new unshakable self-confidence, you're content to observe, listen, and choose your moments carefully. And when you do speak, your words carry weight because they come from a place of inner strength, not insecurity. So how do we cultivate this attribute? Here are some Stoic-inspired practices. 1. Focus on what you can control. Your actions, your thoughts, your responses. Let go of trying to control others' opinions of you. 2. Practice self-acceptance. Acknowledge your strengths and weaknesses without judgment. Remember, self-confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable with who you are. 3. Set and achieve small goals. Build confidence through consistent action and achievement. 4. Embrace failure as a teacher. Don't let setbacks shake your confidence. Instead, view them as opportunities for growth. 5. Cultivate inner dialogue. Speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. Your inner voice shapes your outer confidence. Remember, building unshakable self-confidence is a journey, not a destination. As Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. You're taking the first steps towards true self-mastery by speaking less and turning your focus inward. As you develop this attribute, you might notice some fascinating changes. People may start to gravitate towards you, drawn by your quiet confidence. You might find yourself more resilient in the face of criticism or setbacks, and most importantly, you'll discover a sense of inner peace that comes from knowing your worth doesn't depend on others' opinions. In our hyper-connected world, we often confuse quantity with quality. When it comes to relationships, we count our friends in numbers, our connections in networks. But those who speak less have discovered a profound truth. It's not about how many connections you have, but how deep and meaningful those connections are. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Everywhere means nowhere." In the context of relationships, this reminds us that spreading ourselves too thin can prevent us from forming significant bonds. We create space for deeper, more authentic connections when we speak less. Imagine you're at a social gathering. The old flitted from conversation to conversation, making small talk and collecting business cards. But with this new approach, you might engage in fewer conversations, but each one is more meaningful. You listen intently, ask thoughtful questions, and share authentically. The result? Fewer superficial acquaintances, but more genuine friendships. So how do we master this art of meaningful connections? Here are some Stoic-inspired strategies. 1. Quality over quantity. Focus on nurturing a few deep relationships rather than maintaining many shallow ones. 2. Practice active listening. When someone speaks, give them your full attention. Listen to understand, not just to respond. 3. Be authentic. Share your genuine thoughts and feelings. Vulnerability breeds connection. 4. Value actions over words. Show your care through deeds, not just expressions. 5. Be patient. Embrace solitude. Spend time alone to recharge and reflect. This makes your interactions more intentional and meaningful. Remember, meaningful connections are about something other than being constantly available or always having something to say. As you acquire this attribute, you may notice significant changes. Your relationships could become more profound and more rewarding. You might find yourself surrounded by people who really get you and value you. And most importantly, you'll feel like you belong. Not because you're everywhere, but because you're fully present wherever you are. As we look into our 7th attribute, we're about to uncover a quality that truly sets apart those who speak less and an unwavering sense of purpose. In a world of distractions and fleeting trends, these individuals stand out by staying true to their core values and life mission. You might wonder, how does speaking less relate to having a strong sense of purpose? Well, my friends, it's all about clarity. When we reduce the noise in our lives, both external and internal, we create space to hear our inner voice and connect with our deepest aspirations. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have to assemble your life yourself, action by action." This powerful statement reminds us that a sense of purpose isn't something we stumble upon, but something we consciously build, decision by decision, moment by moment. Imagine waking up each day with a crystal clear understanding of what truly matters to you. Not what society says should matter, not what your social media feed suggests is important, but what resonates deeply with your core values. This is the power of an unwavering sense of purpose. When you speak less and listen more to yourself, to the wisdom of others, to the whispers of the universe, you begin to align your actions with your true purpose. You become less swayed by fleeting emotions or external pressures. Instead, you move through life with intention and direction. So how can we cultivate this unwavering sense of purpose? Here are some Stoic-inspired practices. 1. Define your values. Regularly reflect on what truly matters. What principles do you want to live by? 2. Set meaningful goals. Ensure your goals align with your values and contribute to your larger life. Purpose. 3. Practice daily reflection. Take time each day to consider whether your actions are aligned with your purpose. 4. Embrace obstacles as opportunities. View challenges not as setbacks, but as chances to reinforce your purpose. 5. Cultivate indifference to the non-essential. Learn to say no to things that don't serve your purpose. Remember, having a sense of purpose doesn't mean having your entire life figured out. As Seneca said, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Your purpose is your North Star, guiding you even when the path isn't clear. Learning to develop this quality can bring significant changes to your life. You may find it easier to make decisions that align with your main goal. When you face challenges, you may feel more satisfied. Most importantly, you will gain calm confidence by staying true to yourself. When discussing our 8th attribute, we focus on an important characteristic in our uncertain world: resilience. People who speak less have often learned how to bounce back and stay strong when facing tough times. Building this ability is incredibly valuable in a world that can feel like it's always throwing challenges at us. Now you might wonder, what does speaking less have to do with being resilient? Well, it's all about where you direct your energy when you're not constantly reacting, complaining, or seeking validation through words. You're conserving your strength for what truly matters, facing life's challenges head-on. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This, my friends, is life, is the essence of resilience. It's about developing the inner strength to weather any storm to bend without breaking. Imagine facing a major setback. Maybe you've lost a job, ended a relationship, or faced a health crisis. The old you might have been overwhelmed, venting your frustrations to anyone who would listen. But with this newfound resilience, you approach the situation differently. You take a moment to pause, to reflect, to gather your inner resources, and then, with quiet determination, you start to rebuild. So how do we develop this incredible attribute? Here are some Stoic-inspired strategies to boost your resilience. 1. Practice negative visualization. Regularly imagine challenging scenarios. This mental preparation can make natural obstacles feel less daunting. 2. Focus on what you can control. Direct your energy towards things you can influence, rather than wasting it on factors beyond your control. 3. Embrace discomfort. Voluntarily put yourself in challenging situations. This builds your resilience muscles. Develop a growth mindset. View setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth, not failures. Cultivate emotional intelligence. Learn to recognize and manage your emotions rather than being controlled by them. Remember, resilience isn't about never falling down, it's about always getting back up. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. When you work on this attribute, you will discover that some beautiful changes happen to you. Things that seemed out of reach seem relatively easy to accomplish now. You may take relatively less time to rebound from a loss or drowning phase, but above all else, you will find that self-assuredness that stems from the confidence that you can handle whatever the future holds for you. In our 9th attribute, we will explore a quality that distinguishes those who speak less, the development of deep wisdom. While many value quick answers and surface-level knowledge, these individuals stand out by gaining a profound understanding of life and its complexities. You might be thinking, how does speaking less lead to greater wisdom? Well, my friends, it's all about creating space for reflection and deep thought. When not constantly filling the air with words, we open ourselves to observe, ponder, and genuinely understand. Seneca the elder said, "It is a great thing to know the season for speech and the season for silence." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that wisdom often comes from listening to others, the world around us, and our inner voice. Imagine being in a heated debate. The old you might have jumped in with quick rebuttals, eager to prove your point. But with this newfound approach, you take a moment to listen truly and consider different perspectives. You speak less, but when you do speak, your words carry the weight of careful consideration and deep understanding. So how do we cultivate this profound wisdom? Here are some Stoic-inspired practices. 1. Practice critical thinking. Don't accept ideas at face value. Question, analyze, and seek to understand more profound truths. 2. Commit to lifelong learning. Cultivate curiosity about the world around you. Never stop seeking knowledge. 3. Reflect regularly. Set aside time each day for quiet reflection. Process your experiences and extract lessons from them. 4. Pursue diverse perspectives. Engage with people and ideas different from yours. Wisdom often lies in understanding multiple viewpoints. 5. Apply knowledge practically. True wisdom isn't just about knowing things, but about living them. Apply what you learn to your daily life. Remember, wisdom isn't about having all the answers. As Socrates, a significant influence on Stoic thought, famously said, "I know that I know nothing." True wisdom often begins with acknowledging our limitations and remaining open to new understandings. Developing this quality can lead to significant changes. You may start making better decisions as you understand different situations more deeply. This may also lead to you becoming a trusted advisor to your friends and colleagues. Most importantly, you will find a sense of inner peace as you start seeing the world more clearly and navigating it more skillfully. Friends, welcome to our final attribute. Today, we're talking about the importance of effective communication. Speaking less often leads to better communication. Let's explore this concept further. In our constant chatter and information overload world, communicating with impact is more valuable than ever. But here's the twist. Impactful communication isn't about saying more. It's about saying what matters when it matters in a way that resonates deeply. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This reminds us that effective communication often means stepping back, listening more, and speaking only when we have something precious to contribute. Imagine you're in an important meeting while others are talking over each other, competing to be heard. You're observing, listening, and processing. When you speak, your words are thoughtful, precise, and impactful. People listen because they know you don't waste words. People listen because they know you use words wisely. This is the power of mastering impactful communication. So how do we cultivate this powerful trait? Here are some Stoic-inspired strategies. 1. Choose your words carefully before speaking. Ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? 2. Practice concision. Learn to express complex ideas in simple, clear terms. Develop your presence. Communication isn't just about words. Your body language, tone, and energy all contribute to your message. Know your audience. Tailor your communication to the needs and understanding of those you're addressing. It's okay to pause. Don't fear pauses. They can add emphasis and give others time to absorb your words. Remember, impactful communication isn't about dominating conversations or having the last word. As Marcus Aurelius said, you always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. By developing this quality, you may see some remarkable changes. Your words may have more influence in conversations. People may seek your opinion more often. Most importantly, you will feel that your inner thoughts and outward expression are more in line. Remember, speaking less doesn't mean being silent or withdrawn. It means being deliberate with your words and actions and developing inner strength and wisdom that shines outward. It's about prioritizing quality over quantity in all areas of life. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Stoic wisdom. These traits inspire you to speak less and live more authentically, purposefully, and impactfully. Greetings, all of you who search for the truth. We begin a quest to improve our mornings and consequently our existence via the principles enunciated by Stoics in antiquity. Our first step, examining our fundamental purpose in life, identifying the center between what we love and what we can do. Imagine waking up each day with a fire in your belly, a clear sense of purpose that makes hitting the snooze button feel like robbing yourself of life's richness. That's the power of Ikigai, a concept that beautifully aligns with Stoic principles. Marcus Aurelius once said at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, what do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The things I was brought into the world to do, or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm. This Roman emperor understood something crucial. Having a purpose and a reason to rise is fundamental to a well-lived life. But how do we find this purpose in our modern world? Ikigai offers us a framework. It's the sweet spot, where 4 elements intersect: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. It's not about grand, world-changing missions, though it could be. For many, it's about finding meaning in the everyday. Maybe you're a teacher who loves nurturing young minds, or a baker whose perfectly crafted loaves bring joy to your community. You may be a programmer whose code makes people's lives easier. Whatever it is, your Ikigai is uniquely yours. But here's the kicker. Finding your Ikigai isn't a one-time event. It's a practice, much like Stoicism itself. It requires regular reflection and adjustment, as Seneca advised. If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. So how do we start this practice? Begin by asking yourself these questions each morning. 1. What activities make me lose track of time? 2. What skills do I have that others value? 3. How can I contribute to my community or the world? 4. How can I align my passions with earning a living? Write down your answers. Let them percolate. Over time, patterns will emerge, guiding you towards your Ikigai. Remember, this isn't about finding the perfect purpose. It's about progress, about moving towards a life of meaning and fulfillment. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. By starting each day with a reflection on your ikigai, you're not just setting yourself up for a productive morning, you're laying the foundation for a life well lived. You're giving yourself a reason to get out of bed, eager to contribute your unique gifts to the world. So tomorrow, as the first light of dawn breaks, ask yourself, what's my ikigai? What's my reason for rising? And then, my friends, rise and meet the day with purpose. As the day winds down, we find ourselves at a crucial juncture. The evening hours, we lay the foundation for tomorrow's success. In these quiet moments before sleep, the Stoics understood the power of preparation, and we do well to heed their wisdom. Seneca once wrote, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." This rings especially true when we consider our evenings. How often do we fritter away these precious hours to wake up unprepared and overwhelmed? Let's change that narrative. Your evening routine is the secret weapon in your Stoic arsenal. It's not about rigid self-denial or joyless discipline. Instead, it's about creating a space that supports your well-being and aligns with your goals. Start by setting a clear cut-off time for work and digital distractions. Marcus advised we need to master the art of acquiescence. We need to pay attention to our impulses, making sure they don't go unmoderated, that they benefit others, that they're worthy of us. We need to steer clear of desire in any form and not try to avoid what's beyond our control. In our always-on world, stepping away from emails or social media might seem foolish, but in doing so, you're reclaiming your time and mental space. Next, take a few moments to plan for tomorrow. Jot down your top 3 priorities. This simple act sets a clear direction, ensuring you wake up purposefully. Marcus Aurelius started each day by telling himself, "I am rising to do the work of a human being." By planning the night before, you're giving yourself a head start on that noble work. Consider incorporating some light stretching or gentle yoga into your evening routine. This isn't just about physical flexibility, it's about creating a bridge between the day's busyness and the night's calm. As you move, let go of the day's tensions. Remember the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You can't change what happened today, but can prepare for tomorrow. Reading is another powerful evening habit. Choose something inspiring or thought-provoking. The Stoics were avid readers and writers. Seneca advised we should hunt out the helpful pieces of teaching and the spirited and noble-minded sayings, which are capable of immediate practical application. Let the wisdom of great thinkers infuse your dreams. Finally, practice gratitude before you sleep. Reflect on 3 things you're thankful for. This isn't mere positivity, it's a profound Stoic practice. Marcus Aurelius began his meditations with a long list of people for whom he was grateful. By ending your day with gratitude, you're training your mind to focus on the good, building resilience for whatever tomorrow may bring. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. Some nights life will intervene. That's okay. The Stoic evening routine is about intention, not rigidity. As Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Let your evening routine be a living embodiment of your commitment to growth and tranquility. So as the world quiets down, take charge of your evening tonight. Prepare your mind, body and spirit for the dawn to come. In doing so, you're not just setting yourself up for a good morning, crafting a life of purpose one evening at a time. Picture this. The soft light of dawn filters through your window and you reach for your phone. Suddenly, you're plunged into a whirlpool of notifications, emails and news updates. Sound familiar? In our hyper-connected world, morning distractions have become the norm. But the Stoics, in their timeless wisdom, would urge us to resist this modern siren song. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself in our mornings." This means taking control of our attention from the moment we wake. It's about creating a space of serenity and intention before engaging with the outside world's din. But why is this so crucial? Marcus Aurelius provides insight. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. While this might sound pessimistic, it's a call to prepare ourselves mentally for the day ahead. And how can we prepare if we immediately immerse ourselves in distractions? So let's craft a morning sanctuary. Start by keeping your phone out of arm's reach. Better yet, consider a no-screens rule for the first hour of your day. This might initially feel uncomfortable. We're addicted to that dopamine hit of new information. but in that discomfort lies growth. Instead of reaching for your device, reach for a book. The Stoics were avid readers, understanding that wisdom often comes from those who came before us, or use this distraction-free time for meditation. Sit quietly with your thoughts for a few minutes. Observe them without judgment. Much as Marcus Aurelius did in his meditations, this mindfulness practice aligns perfectly with Stoic principles of self-awareness and emotional regulation. Physical exercise is another powerful way to start your day distraction-free. The Stoics understood the connection between physical and mental well-being. A morning walk, some yoga, or a quick workout can set a positive tone for the day, flooding your body with endorphins and sharpening your mind. Now I hear some of you thinking, but what about emergencies? What if someone needs to reach me to this? I'd remind you of Epictetus's words. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Most emergencies can wait an hour, and for those rare, true emergencies, trust that you'll be informed. Remember, the goal here isn't to permanently disconnect from the world. It's to start your day on your terms, to approach the world with intention rather than reaction. As you gradually extend your distraction-free morning time, you may be more centered, productive, and at peace. Seneca wrote, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy." By avoiding morning distractions, you're being wisely stingy with your most precious resource, your time and attention. So tomorrow when you wake up, resist the urge to plug into the digital world immediately. Instead, plug into yourself. Create a space of calm and intention. You're not just changing your morning. You're changing your life, one distraction-free dawn at a time. Few things are as important as being consistent in life. This is especially true when it comes to waking up simultaneously every day. The Stoics, who were practical in pursuing virtue, understood the power of having a routine. Let's see how we can use this wisdom to improve our mornings and in turn our lives. Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. But let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." This wisdom applies beautifully to the habit of consistent wake-up times. It's not about sudden dramatic changes, but steady, patient cultivation. But why is a consistent wake-up time so crucial? It's about more than just being an early bird or a night owl. It's about aligning ourselves with the natural rhythms of the world and our bodies. When we wake simultaneously each day, we're not fighting against our circadian rhythm, but working harmoniously. Marcus Aurelius started each day by reminding himself at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I have to go to work." As a human being, by setting a consistent wake-up time, we're committing daily to our duties as human beings, our personal growth, and the betterment of the world around us. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but I'm not a morning person. I'd remind you of Seneca's words, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." By establishing a consistent wake-up time, even if it's not at the crack of dawn, you're reclaiming time that might otherwise be lost to inconsistency. So how do we cultivate this habit? Start small. If you currently wake up at different times each day, choose a realistic time and stick to it for a week, even on weekends. Yes, I know the temptation of sleeping in. But remember, we're building a life here, not just managing a work week. As you set your alarm, remind yourself of Epictetus' words. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Reframe your consistent wake-up time not as a burden, but a gift, a daily opportunity to engage with life on your terms. When the alarm goes off, don't negotiate with yourself. The Stoics valued decisive action. As Marcus Aurelius advised, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Let these words be your morning mantra as you rise. Remember, the goal isn't to become a morning person if that's not your natural inclination. The goal is consistency. Whether you're waking at 5 a.m. or 9 a.m., what matters is that you're doing it consistently, creating a stable foundation for your day. As you build this habit, you may find other areas of your life falling into place. Your sleep quality may improve, your productivity might increase, you might have more time for morning reflection or exercise. These are the ripple effects of one simple habit: consistent action. Seneca wrote, "If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person." By establishing a consistent wake-up time, you're becoming a different person who values structure, honors commitments to themselves, and starts each day with intention. So tonight, as you set your alarm, remember, you're not just setting a wake-up time, you're setting the stage for a more disciplined, more purposeful life. And tomorrow, when that alarm sounds, rise with the knowledge that you're participating in an ancient and noble tradition. The tradition of meeting each day with consistency, courage, and love. In pursuing Stoic wisdom and morning routines, we might be tempted to become harsh taskmasters to ourselves. But today, let's explore a crucial aspect of Stoic practice that's often overlooked: self-compassion. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This power includes the ability to treat ourselves with kindness, especially when we fall short of our ideals. Now you might be wondering, isn't Stoicism about endurance and discipline? Where does self-compassion fit in? The answer lies in understanding that true strength comes not from rigid self-criticism, but from a balanced approach that acknowledges our humanity. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This applies to external events and our actions and perceived failures. When we miss our alarm, skip our morning meditation, or fall back into old habits, how we react to ourselves can make all the difference. Practicing self-compassion doesn't mean making excuses or lowering our standards. Instead, it's about responding to our shortcomings with understanding and a commitment to growth. It's recognizing that the path to virtue is not a straight line, but a series of attempts, failures, and renewed efforts. So how do we cultivate this self-compassion in our morning routine? Start by acknowledging that every day is a new opportunity. If yesterday's morning didn't go as planned, today is a chance to begin again. As Seneca advised, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. When you face setbacks, try this Stoic exercise. Speak to yourself like a good friend facing the same situation. Would you criticize them for hitting snooze once? Or would you encourage them to try again, acknowledging the challenge but focusing on the opportunity for growth? Remember, the goal of our morning routine is not perfection, but progress. Seneca reminds us we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Often our harshest critic is the voice in our head. By practicing self-compassion, we can quiet that critic and focus on meaningful change. This doesn't mean abandoning discipline. Instead, it's about finding a balance. As you build your morning routine, set realistic expectations. If you're not a morning person, don't expect to suddenly leap out of bed at 5 a.m. with a smile. Start where you are and gently push your boundaries. When you succeed in meeting your morning goals, please take a moment to acknowledge them. This isn't vanity, it's reinforcing positive habits. Recognizing your successes, no matter how small, is an exercise of this power. And on those mornings when things don't go as planned, take a deep breath and remember Epictetus' words. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Respond with kindness to yourself, learn from the experience, and then move forward. Practicing self-compassion in your morning routine isn't just about feeling good. It's about creating a sustainable practice that can weather the ups and downs of life. It's about building resilience, not through harsh self-judgment, but through understanding and persistent effort. So tomorrow morning, as you embark on your routine, carry with you this Stoic wisdom. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to others. Recognize your efforts, learn from your missteps, and keep moving forward. In this balance of discipline and self-compassion, we find the true strength of the Stoic path. In the grand tapestry of life, it's often the most minor threads that hold everything together. This chapter will explore the power of small, disciplined acts in our morning routine and how they can transform our days and lives. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig." This wisdom aligns beautifully with the words of Lao Tzu, who taught the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Both remind us that monumental change often comes from small, consistent actions. So what do these small, disciplined acts look like in the context of our morning routine? It could be as simple as making your bed as soon as you rise. This might seem trivial, but Admiral William McRaven famously said, "If you want to change the world, start by making your bed." It's a small victory that sets the tone for the day, a physical representation of order and discipline. Perhaps it's taking 5 deep breaths before your feet hit the floor, centering yourself for the day ahead. The Buddha taught, what you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create. By starting your day with this small act of mindfulness, you're setting an intention for calm and focus. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water before anything else, honoring your body's need for hydration after hours of sleep. As the Greek physician Hippocrates advised, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Water, the most basic of nutrients, is a morning medicine for body and mind. The key is consistency. As Will Durant wisely noted, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Each small, disciplined act, repeated daily, becomes a building block of character. Now you might be thinking, how can these tiny actions make a difference? To this, I'd remind you of the words of Vincent van Gogh, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." It's not about the magnitude of each action, but their cumulative effect over time. Start by choosing 1 or 2 small acts to incorporate into your morning routine. It could be a minute of stretching, writing down 3 things you're grateful for, or simply taking a moment to state your intentions for the day. As Marcus Aurelius advised, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Remember, the goal isn't to radically overhaul your morning in one go. That's a recipe for burnout and disappointment. Instead, focus on small, manageable changes. As the Chinese philosopher Confucius taught, it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. When you inevitably face mornings where these small acts feel challenging, recall the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Your strength, discipline, and potential for growth lie within you, waiting to be expressed through these small morning acts. Over time, these small, disciplined acts become the cornerstone of a more purposeful, productive life. As you master one habit, you can gradually add others, but always remember the wisdom of Bruce Lee. Long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. It's not about perfect mornings, but consistent effort. So tomorrow, as you meet the day, remember the power of small, disciplined acts, whether making your bed, taking a moment to breathe, or simply smiling at yourself in the mirror. Know that you're not just going through the motions. You're building character, one small act at a time. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. In our journey to craft a meaningful morning routine, we arrive at a profound Stoic practice. Memento mori, or remember that you must die. This isn't meant to be morbid, but a powerful tool for living fully. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This reminder of our mortality isn't about inducing fear, but inspiring purposeful living. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on the finite nature of your existence. This practice can be as simple as asking yourself, if this were my last day, how would I want to live it? It's about shifting perspective. Not dwelling on death, Seneca advised, let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing, let us balance life's books each day by remembering our mortality each morning. We're prompted to prioritize what truly matters. This practice encourages us to one live with intention, to express gratitude for another day. 3. You focus on what's truly important, for let go of petty concerns. Memento mori isn't about being somber. It's about being present and appreciative. It's a reminder to make the most of our time, starting with how we approach each morning. So tomorrow, as you begin your day, remember, this day is a gift, and it's up to you to make it count. Let the awareness of your mortality be not a burden, but a catalyst for living fully and purposefully. As we conclude our exploration of Stoic morning routines, let's reflect on a profound truth. The way we start our day shapes everything that follows. The ancient Stoics understood this, as do many of today's most successful individuals. Consider Jack Dorsey, who begins each day with meditation and exercise, or Jeff Bezos, who prioritizes family time in the morning. These modern leaders, like the Stoics before them, recognize the power of a purposeful morning routine. But remember, success isn't about mimicking others. It's about finding what works for you, guided by timeless wisdom. Whether it's practicing gratitude, avoiding distractions, or remembering your mortality, each element we've discussed is a tool for crafting a more intentional, fulfilling life. The Stoic morning routine isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about starting each day with purpose, resilience, and a commitment to personal growth. As you implement these practices, be patient with yourself. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. As you leave this video, I challenge you to choose one aspect of the Stoic morning routine and incorporate it into your life. Start small, be consistent, and watch as it transforms not just your mornings, but your entire approach to life. Thank you for joining us on this journey of Stoic wisdom. Remember, you're part of a community striving for personal growth and societal betterment. Until next time, this is the Stoic community, wishing you mornings filled with purpose and days lived with virtue.